When people think about building wealth, they usually imagine dramatic strategies. They think about stock picks that double overnight. They imagine launching a successful business. Or they believe wealth comes from taking massive financial risks. But in reality, most millionaires did not build their wealth through flashy strategies. Instead, they relied on something much more powerful. They relied on silent wealth builders. These are the financial habits, systems, and strategies quietly working behind the scenes. They don't look exciting on the surface. They don't trend on social media. And they rarely make headlines. But over time, they compound into something extraordinary. These silent wealth builders are the reason ordinary people become financially independent, while others with higher incomes stay stuck living paycheck to paycheck. In today's video on Smart Dollar Mindset, we're going to break down the silent wealth builders most people ignore. More importantly, we'll explain how you can use them step by step to build long-term financial freedom. If your goal is to build real wealth, not just appear wealthy, this video could completely change the way you think about money. Let's begin. Silent Wealth Builder #1. Consistent investing, even when it feels boring. The first silent wealth builder is consistent investing. This strategy is so simple that many people underestimate it. But consistency is what turns average earners into millionaires. Let's look at a real-life scenario. Imagine two friends. James decides to invest $500 every month starting at age 25. He invests in a simple index fund and earns an average return of 8% per year. Meanwhile, Mark waits until age 35 to start investing. Mark invests $1,000 per month, twice as much as James. At first, Mark feels like he's catching up quickly. But here's what happens over time. By age 60, James ends up with roughly $1.3 million. Mark ends up with around $900,000. Even though Mark invested more money, the difference is time. Consistency allowed James's investments to compound for an additional decade. And that extra time quietly multiplied his wealth. This is the power of silent investing. No drama, no trading daily, no guessing the market. Just consistent investing month after month. Most people ignore this because it feels slow. But the truth is that wealth building is supposed to be slow. Slow is stable. Slow is sustainable. And slow eventually becomes unstoppable. Silent Wealth Builder #2. Living below your means. One of the biggest misconceptions about wealth is that it requires a high income. But the truth is much simpler. Wealth is built by the gap between what you earn and what you spend. Living below your means creates that gap. And that gap is where wealth grows. Let's consider two individuals earning the exact same salary. Sarah earns $90,000 per year and spends $85,000. Kevin also earns $90,000 per year, but spends $60,000. Both appear to live similar lifestyles. But Kevin invests the extra $25,000 each year. After 20 years, Kevin could have over $1 million invested. Sarah, on the other hand, might have almost nothing saved. Their incomes were identical. Their financial futures were completely different. This is why living below your means is one of the most powerful silent wealth builders. It doesn't require a promotion. It doesn't require a side business. It simply requires intentional spending. The goal is not to live a miserable life. The goal is to design a lifestyle that allows you to invest consistently without financial stress. Silent Wealth Builder #3. Automatic investing. The next silent wealth builder is automation. Automation removes the biggest obstacle to wealth building: human behavior. Most people intend to invest, but life gets in the way. Bills appear. Unexpected expenses show up. And the money that was supposed to be invested gets spent. Automation solves this problem. Instead of relying on discipline, you rely on systems. Money automatically moves from your paycheck into investment accounts. This approach is often called pay yourself first. Here's an example. Daniel earns $5,000 per month. Instead of waiting to see what's left over at the end of the month, he automatically invests $1,000 the day he gets paid. Because the money disappears immediately, he builds his lifestyle around the remaining $4,000. Over time, this automatic system quietly builds his investment portfolio without requiring constant willpower. This is how many wealthy individuals manage their finances. They don't rely on motivation. They rely on systems. Silent wealth builder #4, low-cost index funds. Another silent wealth builder is choosing the right investment vehicles. Many investors chase complex strategies. They try to pick individual stocks. They trade frequently. They follow market predictions. But research consistently shows something surprising. Most professional investors fail to beat the market over long periods. That means the average investor trying to pick stocks is competing against full-time experts. Instead, many wealthy investors choose a simpler approach: low-cost index funds. Index funds track the overall market rather than trying to beat it. They provide broad diversification, low fees, and consistent long-term performance. For example, a total market index fund allows you to own thousands of companies at once. Companies like Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and many others. Instead of betting on a single company's success, you benefit from the growth of the entire economy. Over decades, this strategy has proven incredibly effective. And the best part is that it requires very little maintenance. You invest regularly and allow time to do the heavy lifting. Silent wealth builder #5, avoiding lifestyle inflation. One of the biggest threats to long-term wealth is lifestyle inflation. Lifestyle inflation happens when spending increases every time income increases. You receive a raise. Then you upgrade your car. You move into a bigger house. You increase your monthly expenses. Before long, the raise disappears, and you're financially in the same position as before. Many high-income professionals fall into this trap. Doctors, lawyers, and engineers sometimes earn six-figure incomes but still feel financially stressed. Why? Because their spending grows with their income. Now consider a different approach. Instead of increasing lifestyle expenses, you increase investments. Imagine receiving a $10,000 raise. Rather than spending the entire amount, you invest half of it. Over the next decade, this decision can significantly accelerate your path to financial independence. This is one of the silent habits wealthy people follow. They allow their income to grow faster than their lifestyle. Silent wealth builder #6, long-term thinking. Modern culture encourages short-term thinking. People want instant results, quick profits, fast success. But wealth building operates on a completely different timeline. It rewards patience. Let's consider an example. A young investor starts investing $600 per month at age 22. For the first few years, the portfolio barely grows. After 5 years, the account might only have around $40,000. At that point, many people become discouraged. But something remarkable happens later. After 20 years, that same portfolio could exceed $350,000. After 30 years, it could exceed $900,000. The growth accelerates dramatically because of compounding. But compounding requires time. The longer you stay invested, the more powerful it becomes. Long-term thinking allows you to remain patient while others chase quick results. Silent wealth builder #7, reinvesting dividends. Dividends are one of the most overlooked wealth builders. A dividend is a portion of a company's profits paid to shareholders. Many investors choose to spend those dividends. But the real magic happens when dividends are reinvested. When dividends are reinvested, they purchase additional shares. Those additional shares generate more dividends, which purchase even more shares. This cycle creates a powerful compounding effect. Let's look at a simple example. Suppose you own $100,000 worth of dividend-paying investments with a 3% yield. That means you receive $3,000 in dividends per year. If those dividends are reinvested, your portfolio grows even faster. Over decades, dividend reinvestment can significantly increase total returns. This strategy works quietly in the background, but over long periods, it can dramatically increase wealth. Silent wealth builder #8, Tax efficiency taxes are one of the biggest hidden expenses in investing. Yet many investors completely ignore tax strategy. Smart investors use tax-advantaged accounts to protect their wealth. Accounts like 401k plans, Roth IRAs, health savings accounts. These accounts provide powerful tax benefits. For example, contributions to a traditional retirement account may reduce taxable income. Meanwhile, Roth accounts allow investments to grow tax-free. Let's consider a comparison. Two investors each invest $500,000. One invests in a taxable account. The other invests in a tax-advantaged account. If taxes reduce returns by just 1% per year, the difference over 30 years could reach hundreds of thousands of dollars. Tax efficiency is a silent wealth builder because it quietly increases the amount of money you keep. Silent Wealth Builder #9. Increasing your income over time. While saving and investing are important, increasing your income can accelerate wealth building dramatically. But income growth doesn't happen automatically. It requires intentional effort. Many financially successful individuals continuously improve their skills. They pursue promotions. They develop specialized expertise. They build valuable professional networks. Consider someone who increases their income from $60,000 to $100,000 over a decade. If they maintain the same lifestyle and invest the additional income, their wealth trajectory changes dramatically. Income growth provides additional fuel for investing, but it must be combined with smart financial habits. Otherwise, higher income simply leads to higher spending. Silent Wealth Builder #10 Financial Education. The final silent wealth builder is financial education. Most schools never teach practical money management. People graduate understanding algebra and history, but not investing, taxes, or budgeting. As a result, many adults make expensive financial mistakes. They accumulate high-interest debt. They avoid investing because they feel overwhelmed. They follow poor advice from unreliable sources. Financial education changes everything. The more you understand about money, the better your financial decisions become. You learn how to avoid costly mistakes. You learn how to identify smart investment opportunities. And most importantly, you learn how to build systems that grow wealth automatically. This is why continually learning about personal finance is so important. Knowledge compounds just like money. Putting the silent wealth builders together. Now here's the most important insight. None of these wealth builders work alone. Their real power appears when they work together. Imagine someone who invests consistently, lives below their means, uses automated investing, invests in low-cost index funds, avoids lifestyle inflation, thinks long-term, reinvests dividends, uses tax-advantaged accounts, increases their income, continues learning about money. Individually, each strategy may seem small, but combined, they create an incredibly powerful financial system. This system quietly builds wealth year after year, without constant stress, without complicated strategies, and without needing a six-figure starting salary. This is how financial independence is built. Slowly, quietly, and consistently. Final thoughts. Many people believe wealth comes from dramatic financial moves. But the truth is much simpler. Real wealth is usually built by ordinary habits repeated consistently over decades. The silent wealth builders we discussed today may not look exciting, but they work. They are reliable, and they are accessible to almost anyone willing to be patient. If you focus on these habits, your financial future will look very different from the average person. And that is the mission of this channel. Here at Smart Dollar Mindset, the goal is to help you build financial freedom through smart money habits and long-term investing. If you found value in this video, consider subscribing and sharing it with someone who wants to take control of their financial future. Because the earlier you start building these silent wealth systems, the more powerful they become. And remember, wealth rarely makes noise while it's growing. But one day it will make a difference that everyone can see.